sitting. Now, not a bit fitter, haven't done any particular training in that other than just qualified vet physio, so understand a little bit about physics and biomechanics and functional anatomy. And the reason why I just wanted to talk specifically about one bit and its action is because it popped up on Facebook in a discussion. It's actually one of the Facebook pages where people sell and trade things. And a lady was under the impression that a hanging cheek exerts pole pressure. And I sort of just wanted to go on and point out that it actually doesn't. And if the horse is uncomfortable in a particular type of bit, then it might not be for that reason. There's lots of reasons why horses will be uncomfortable in their mouth. It might not even link to anything in the mouth in particular. It might be because they've got musculoskeletal pain elsewhere, and as we know from the research that Sue Dyson has done, that can manifest itself in lots of different ridden behaviours, including nose above the vertical, nose very much behind the vertical, and lots of other things. My master's research is about that, so watch this space. Anyway, hanging cheeks. So, two types of bit here to demonstrate why one type of bit might create pole pressure and why one doesn't. NeuroSure have done a bit of research on one of their own hanging cheeks. I think you pronounce it Baucher or Baucher, something like that. Anyway, it's a type of hanging cheek. This is hanging cheek. Okay, so it literally hangs from the cheek pieces. So that's where the cheek piece is attached. If you imagine on a normal snaffle, where the cheek pieces and the reins attached to the same bit of metal. So we've got cheek pieces on here, reins at the side. With a hanging cheek, the cheek piece is attached here, the reins attached here, so they're on a separate piece of metal. You imagine that that is now in the horse's mouth. My hand is the horse's mouth. In order for a bit to exert pole pressure, this has to move. Okay, so that needs to move the cheek pieces, pull them down, and normally the bit would go in that direction, so the horse's head is pointing that way, and we get this kind of action. Now if you look at the hanging cheek, if I pull on the rein there, nothing happens to that, it doesn't move. Okay? Gag. This is a Tom Thumb gag. If I am the horse again, cheek pieces on here, look what happens when I pull the rein. We get some lever action. Okay, this is a lever arm, this is basic physics. If I attach the rein here, no. If I attach the rein here, yes, pole pressure. Yep, so that pulls down. So if I grab a bit of leather, right, so this is my pony's very, very dirty bridle, so we're going to pretend that you haven't seen that. I am actually going to clean it. He's not been ridden for a while. He is going to come back into work soon. He's going to get the shock of his life. So, yes, anyway, quickly just whack this on. So, if you imagine, and actually what NeuroSure found with their particular bit, has actually exerted less pole pressure. So this type of bit is a lot more stable in the horse's mouth because the reins and the cheek pieces attached to a different bit of metal. So there it is on the cheek pieces. That's the horse's mouth there. She says, if you pull on the reins that way, the horse's mouth is going to stabilise that. We're not getting any lever action. So you imagine that if you had a lever at the bottom of here and you pulled on that and you had a lever arm, and obviously the length of the lever arm relates directly to how much pole pressure you are able to exert. So if you see on this Tom Thumb, the bit that the rein attached to is actually longer. If I flipped it upside down and attached the cheek pieces up here, I've got less of a lever because this bit is shorter. It goes in the horse's mouth that way up so that the cheek piece is attached here, and we've got a lever arm here, so we get this. So hopefully that's cleared that up. If your horse is exhibiting any kind of behaviours that you think might be attributable to the bit, speak to a veterinary physiotherapist, speak to your vet, speak to your dentist, speak to your saddler, and the reason I say that is musculoskeletal pain could manifest in some ridden behaviours.